So in the last session, we discussed some examples of PHP 5, and we said that PHP 5 can be embedded in an HTML document, but when we will save this file, the extension will be what? The extension will be .php. Very good. Yes. Very good. So after that, in the execution, if there is an HTML document, so an HTML document will be here. For example, we have an HTML document, so the HTML document will be not changed. And here in the red, there is a PHP code, so the server execute this PHP code. For example, in this example, we will print hello world. We discover also that there are three comments or three possible ways to create a comment in PHP 5, like C or C++ or Shell. Also, we learn together how we can create a variable in PHP. So to create a variable in PHP, we use $ plus the name of the variable, for example, A equals semicolon. And how to manage a variable using isSet function, nset function, and empty function. So isSet, nset, and empty are predefined functions provided by PHP 5. After that, we discussed together the superglobals, and we said that PHP 5 offers many superglobals like $_get, $_post, $_cookie, $_env, and $_server. So there are many superglobals, and we see together how we can use, for example, $_post in this example. Any questions about all the topics covered in the last session? Okay, so let's move to the second examples. So we discussed this example last session. Okay, so let's go to basic data types. So there are 5 basic data types in PHP 5. Okay. So in this example, I have a form, and in this form, I have many checkboxes. For example, red with a checkbox, green with another checkbox, blue, etc. So when we use here the same name for all the checkbox in HTML document, so in HTML document, we will add array. This, so we will add array symbols like this. So in our example, we write name equal color as an array for each checkbox. It is clear? This is for the HTML document, okay? After that, the user, for example, check red and green. After that, there is a submit button, submit. When the user click into submit button, in this case, there is an HTTP request, and this HTTP request is sent to third.php. So in third.php, in PHP file, when we use the super global $_get, so why we use $_get and not $_post in this example? Why we use $_get? I repeat my question. Here, in the previous example, we use $_post. But in this example, we use $_get. Why? Why we use $_get? Any idea? Because here in our form we have get as method. Our method is get. So in the form, if I specify method equal get, in PHP file I will use $get. And if my method is post, in my PHP file I will use $post. It is clear? This is my first remark. The second one, if I have many items with the same color, I add the array symbol in HTML document. In my example, for example, here I write color, after that the array symbols. It is clear? So I want to get from the HTTP request the checked checkbox. For example, here, let's suppose that I will check only red and green. So in PHP code, I will write name equal $get, but here I write color without array symbol. So here I write color without array symbol, only color. Okay? So name, in my example here, the name will be an array with two elements. The first one is red, the second one is green. So in name I will obtain all the checkbox in the HTML document. If it's set get color, this test is used. Why this test is used? Here, why I use if it's set $get color? Because if the user click on the submit button without checking any checkbox, in this case $get color will be empty. Yes. So if it said $get color, that means the user choose one or many colors. After that, I will use a for each. So for each, here is a loop. So for each dollar name as dollar color equal dollar color plus BR. So dollar name is here my array as dollar color. That means for every iteration I will get the value of the in the first iteration of the first element, and the second iteration of the second element, etc. So here the dot in PHP, that means concatenation. Concatenation. So in Java, for example, we use plus to concatenate two variables. In PHP, we use dot. So when I write echo dollar color BR, that means I want to display the color plus BR. So here BR is used, yes, like a plus, yes. So BR, yes, like a plus. BR here is used to make new line. After each color, I will obtain a new line. So all the colors will be displayed on different lines. It is clear, this example is clear. Any questions about this example? Okay, so the same example. So if I want to display for each here is like the loop for, but we use for each in PHP to traverse an array. So I write for each, after that a dollar name, as after that how can I traverse this array? For example, I write here dollar color, that means the value. I can write, for example, dollar key imply dollar color. We will see after that other details about for each, but in this level just keep in the mind that for each is a loop provided by PHP, and this loop is used to get the values of an array. Any questions? Okay, so in this example, if I want that the colors will be displayed as in ordered list, so how can I modify this code to obtain values as in ordered list? I will use what? What tags will be used? OL for ordered, but I want in ordered. UL, very good. UL and LI. UL and LI. Yes. So I will modify this code here. I will make before this loop, I will make two instructions, echo UL before the loop and echo and UL after the loop. It is clear? Because UL and UL is displayed one time. After that, here, before color, I will add LI, and after color, I will add and LI. And I will use dot to make concatenation. So dot here and dot here. Echo is like print. Any questions? It is clear. So in this example, I will get all the colors checked by my user, and after that I will display all these colors as an unordered list. Let's move now to basic data types. So we can find 5 basic data types in PHP: integer, floating point, strings, Boolean, and null. So how we can manipulate arrays in PHP 5? In PHP 5, I can write an array by different manners. Just if I want to create an array, I will use the keyword array. So array is a keyword in PHP, and I will write array after that here, array, after that the value, for example 1, 2, 3. So array 1, 2, 3, create an array. I can write, for example, $x equal. So here in my example, I create an array x, and the length of x is 3. That means x contains 3 elements. So the first index of the first element here, the index is 0. The index of this one is 1, and the index of this one is 2. So if I write array 1, 2, 3 is equivalent to write array 0 implies 1, 1 implies 2, 2 implies 3. So here 0 is the index to access to the value, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 are the values. Yes, it is clear. Okay, after that I can also create an array with other type of index. For example, I can write array name implies John, age implies 28. So here the name and age are the index. Name, age are the index, and John is the value of name. 28 is the value of age. So if I write, for example, array 1 implies 1, after that for the second and the third I don't specify the name of the index here without index, because in PHP we use this symbol, not this one. This is the syntax of PHP. Okay, so here I specify 1 for the first element, the index is 1, but here I don't specify for the second and the third. So this array is equivalent to write 1, 1, 2 implies 2, and 3 implies 3. It is clear? This point is clear? Okay. So array is without elements is an empty array. Yes, automatically. And this one is an example of nested array. So we can create array of arrays. So the first element of our array is an array. This is the first element. The second element of our array is another array. This is the second element. Any questions? It is clear? Okay. So how we can access to this array? If I create an array equal 1, 2, 3, this is the first manner to create an array, array 1. I can create also array 2, like this. So array 1 and array 2 are equivalent here. So if I write, for example, $x and this, I use this symbol, 0 equal 1, $x 1 equal 3. That means I will create an array with two elements, 1 and 3. It is clear? Print R, this is a predefined function in PHP, and print R produce a readable by the human, readable, that means display information about a variable in a way that is readable by humans. For example, in our example here, when I write print R array 1, the result will be like this. So, just a moment, please. Print R array 1, so the result will be like this. Array 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, like this. This is the result of print R. It is clear? So keep in the mind that to create an array, there are two manners. The first one is like this, and in this case I use this symbol. The second one is like this, element by element, and in this case I will use this symbol. Any questions about arrays? Okay. So reading array values, for example, I can write a print array 2 name. That means the value of array 2 in the index name of, or if array 2 age, that means I want to extract the value of array 2 in the index age. If I have a nested array, that means an array of an array, I will use, for example, here, I want to get this value, John. So John, here, I have to get this value, I have to indicate the first index and the second one. So array 1 name like this, the value will be John. It is clear? Okay, so if I want to get, for example, the value, this value, I want to extract this value. I will write $array, and after that here the first index will be what? Y2, not 1, because here we have 1. Here automatically the value will be 2, and the second will be name or age. Very good. Okay, let's move now to traversing arrays using for each. So here we will discuss how we can use for each. Let's suppose that we have an array and our array is players. And in this array we have 1, 2, 3, 4 players. To print all the players like this, so I want to get this output. The players are, after that, 0 equal John, 1 equal Barbara, 2 equal Bill, and 3 equal Nancy. So to create this output, I will use the loop for each. So the loop for each here, the first argument will be the name of the array. So in our example, the name of the array is players. It is clear? After that, as key implies value. So if I write here, I can write any variable. So in as, for example, if I write here as $x, so $x will be in the first iteration John, in the second iteration Barbara, in the third iteration Bill, in the fourth iteration Nancy. But if I write $x implies $y, in this case, in the first iteration, x will be 0 and y will be John. In the second iteration, x will be 1 and y will be Barbara, etc. So I will use the value, or here in my example, key and value, to print the index and the value of the index. It is clear how we can use for each. Any questions? We can use also, or we can traverse also the array using list and each. Not for each, but another manner. List equal each. So list here assign variables as if they were an array. So Sorry. Yes, in here in our example, key refer to index and val refer to value, and list, that means list, that means assign a list of variables in one operation. A list of variable in one operation. So list key var equal each player. In the first iteration, key will be 0 and var will be John. And the second one, key will be 1 and the value will be Barbara, etc. It is clear? So here, reset. Not fixed. So let's repeat. In this example, reset. So the reset set the internal pointer of an array to its first element. That means here, reset to the first element. Okay? Yes. After that, while I can write here $x, $y. So $x, $y. Sorry. Here I write X and Y. $x, $y equal each dollar player print. Here I write $x and here I write equal $y. So list, assign a list of variables in one operation, and each return the current key and value pair from an array. So after that I will use X and Y to print the index and the value in each iteration. It is clear? Okay, so a constant I can define it not clear. Okay. So for example, if I write $x equal 5, $y equal 10, so list $x, $y return 5, 10 together. It is clear list now? Okay. After that, if I have an array 0, 1, 2, 3, here Ahmed, for example, Ali, Muhammad. If I write in my array here reset, so let's suppose that my array is $A. If I write reset $A, that means here set the internal pointer of an array in its first element. I will set the internal pointer in first element. So if I write each A in the first iteration, each A in the first iteration return a list with 0 as a first element and Ahmad as a second element. It is clear. In the second iteration, each $A return 1 Ali. In the third iteration, each $A return 2 Muhammad. So now I will use list here $K $var equal each. That means here I will assign here each player give me two values, the first one and the second one. So the first value here will be 2 key, the second one will be 2 val, and after that I will print key and val. So I will use key, val, x, y, any name of variable because it is a program. It is clear now? We can use print r. Yes, here we can use print r. We will obtain the same element. But here, for example, if I use print underscore r players, I will obtain a result like this. Array 0 John, like this. 1 Barbara. It is clear? I can use print r, no problem. But here I want this display. I want the display is with hash, with equal, etc. So for this, I will use my own program with a loop. Any other questions? Okay. Let's move now to constants. So if I want to define a constant, I can use define constant name value. Here, for example, I use define my OK, and the value of my OK equal 0. Define my error equal 1. So there is a third argument here, case sensitivity. So the default behavior is case sensitive. The default behavior is case sensitive. That means my OK, the constant my OK, I can write my OK like this, but not, for example, my OK like this. Any questions? Okay, so if I want to define a constant in my program, in PHP program, I can write define. After that, in the define, there are normally three arguments. Okay, the first one is the name of the constant, like this. And my example is my OK. Okay, the second one is the value. So here in my example, my constant, my OK, the value of my constant equals 0. The third one, if I don't specify the third argument, that means the argument is true. So the case sensitivity, that means I cannot make capital or lower letters and when I use my constant. That means my constant is case sensitive. So here in this example, when I use my OK, here I don't specify case sensitivity in my example. So the default value is true. That means my OK here must be, when I will use this constant, I have to write my OK like this. I cannot write, for example, my OK with lower case. So if I specify, for example, I write define x3 false, in this case my constant x can be as capital X or lower x, is equivalent. Why? Because I specify that the sensitivity is false. So the default value is true, but if I specify that is false, in this case I can use capital X or lowercase x. Any other questions? So there are many operators in PHP 5. We can find numerical operators, assignment, comparison, logical, bitwise. So bitwise operators, that means all the operators for specific bit. Here operators for specific bits, like for example not, and, or, etc. Negation operators, increment, decrement operators, etc. Also in PHP 5 we can find many control structures like if, else, if. So this for use if, we can use a switch expression with the case expression, statement list, etc. We can use many loop control structures like while with a condition. So for this example, result equal 1, wine dollar and more than 0, dollar result star equal and minus, print the result is. So break, that means here, what's the meaning of break? And execution, yes, of current loop. Break, that means and execution of current loop. So we can add an expression here, break expression. So it is an optional numeric number. That means how many nested enclosing structures are to be broken. So the default equal 1. For example, if I write break 2, that means here break 2, that means there are 2 nested enclosing structures, and we will break 2 nested enclosing structures. So continue. What's the meaning of continue? Continue, that means skip the rest of the current loop. Continue, that means skip the rest of the current loop iteration and continue execution in the beginning loop. Any questions? There are some examples. We can also make code inclusion. For example, include file name. In this case, like import, I will include all this file name. We can write functions. For example, here function square $x return $x. This is the name of the function. This is the argument of the function. So this is, for example, here variable equal $1 function print variable. In this case, we will obtain what here? What is the result of print variable? Not 2. We will obtain 1. Why? Because variable is local, like JavaScript. Okay? It is clear? So the modification of variable here will be only on the function. So when we will print variable, we will print this variable. So to resolve this problem, we can use globals variable. So here we will obtain 2 because we use globals, and here we will obtain 1. Any questions? Okay, just here we can use by reference parameters. To use by reference, we will use and that means by reference. This is an example. $n equal $n multiplied by $n. Number equal 4 square number. So without and I will obtain 4. With and I will obtain 16 when I write print number. Okay, just a moment. I want to before there is a website here. Before attendance, I will show a website. So this website, and this website we can execute. We can execute your code in PHP code. This is website to test your PHP code. You can use this website. Yes, but if you want to test this PHP code, you have to install a server. For example, you have to install WAMP server or Easy PHP server. Okay.